All right, so this is going to be the last part of the video. So we're going to finish off the rest of the notes. So number 33, they want us to solve. So when they want us to solve, we're solving for the variable. So if we can see here, we're solving for x. But if you notice, there is x on both sides. So we need to get them onto the same side. So this negative x, I'm going to move it to the other side. And I'm going to do that by adding x. Okay? What I do to one side, I have to do to the other side. Now I'm not just adding x, I'm adding 1x. Okay, so here it cancels. Now because we're left with nothing on this side, nothing is 0. Okay, you don't leave it blank. Then I have this sign. I'm going to drop it down, less than equal to. The 1/2, that stays the same, 1/2. And then we're combining our x's, negative 2/3 plus 1. Now if you're not sure, use your calculator. Negative 2/3, 2/3. And then of course you can't put the x there. And we're going to add 1, so plus 1. When I add 1, that gives me 1/3. So I have 1/3 x. And then this is a plus 1/2. Okay, now I'm going to move the 1/2 to the other side, and I'm going to do that by subtracting 1/2. What I do to one side, I have to do to the other side, 1/2. And so we're going to subtract it. I don't know why I put the sign here. I shouldn't have put it yet. Sorry. All right, and so these ones, they cancel, and we get less than or equal to negative 1/2. Okay, and then on this side, we're left with 1/3x. Then our last step is to get rid of the 1/3. So if you don't remember to get rid of the fraction, you have to multiply it by what we call a reciprocal. So we multiply it times 3/1. What we do to one side, we have to do to the other side, 3/1. And so if you're not good with fractions, go ahead and put it in your calculator. Negative 1/2 times 3/1. 3/1. Enter, that gives us negative 3/2. So x is less than or equal to negative 3/2. And we never flip the sign because we didn't multiply or divide by a negative number. We multiplied by 3/1, which was positive. We subtracted, but that was about it. So x is less than or equal to negative 3/2. Okay, number 34. I'm going to leave that one for you guys. Number 35. All right, so say that you do not want to do this method here where you go through all the steps. We're going to put this into our calculator, and we're going to use nsolve. nsolve. Okay, and then we copy it down exactly the way we see it. So 0.3x plus 1. Now your calculator is not going to be able to use the less than sign, so you're just going to use an equal to sign, and we'll worry about the sign later. So x minus 0.7, x plus 1, and then before you end it, you have to tell the calculator, I want you to solve for x. So you put comma x. Enter, and it gives us 0. Okay, so that means that your solution is possibly 0 or possibly canceled out. So it might be no solution. Of course, this would happen when I do something like this. Let's go ahead and solve it since I was being lazy. So 1 minus 0.7 is 0.3. 0.3 x. If you're not sure, put in your calculator. 1 minus 0.7. Okay, I'm not just making these numbers up. They come from somewhere. So 0.3 plus 1. And then this is greater than, and this is also 0.3. X plus 1. Oh, this is why it gave me 0. So that means that this one's going to be all real numbers because it's the exact same thing on both sides. Ooh, but because they're equal, let's see. We subtract the 0.3x. And what we do to one side, we have to do to the other side. And here all the x's cancel. And we're left with 1 greater than 1, which is not true. That is false. So because it is not true, that means we have no solution. Okay? If it was true, then it would be all real numbers. All right, I'll leave 36 for you guys. This one says, which is a solution to the inequality? So if we're looking for a solution, we plug in the x, so 9 times negative 3 plus 8. Is this greater than or equal to 2 times negative 3 minus 13? We hit enter, that comes out true, so this one is a solution. So we don't even have to continue on this one. 26 I'm going to leave for you. This one says, which is the solution to the inequality? The exact same thing. So we're going to do negative 3 parentheses. Instead of x, we're going to plug in the 4.5 first. Okay, so 4.5 minus 3, close parentheses. Is this greater than or equal to 3? Enter, false. So that's not our answer. Then we do the same thing. I'm a little lazy, so I'm just going to highlight it and then go back and change my x for, this time we're using 3. So I'm going to change it for 3. Enter, comes out false. That's not our answer. So I'm going to go ahead, up, enter, and then just change out my x. And this time they want us to plug in 2. That one comes out true, so that one's my answer. All right, some EOC practice. It says, which statement is true about the linear parent function? So in case you don't remember your linear parent function, it looks like this. It crosses through 0, 0. It will have a slope of 1. It's y equals x is the equation. So let's see. It's graphed and it has a slope of 0. That is not true. A slope of 0 would be a horizontal line, and that's not the case. The graph of the slope is negative 1. That's also not true because it should be going down. Its graph has a y-intercept of 0. This one is true. The graph has a 0 of the function at x equals 1. That is not true. So our answer is C. All right, 31. It says a perimeter of the two triangles is the same. Find the perimeter of the triangle. So I can't see my sides. I'm pretty sure you guys can see the sides on your paper, but mine it didn't download correctly. So we're going to add these 3 sides together. Whatever we get, we write it here. And then we put an equal to sign in the middle because it says that it has the same. The same means equals. Okay. Then whatever these sides are on your paper, I don't have it with me. You add these 3 sides, and whatever you get, that's what you write there. And you solve for x. If you're too lazy to solve for x, have the calculator do it for you. Number 33. The sum of 3 consecutive numbers. Consecutive means one right after the other. So you have a number. It's like 1, 2, and 3. It says that they add up to 72. So 1 plus 2 plus 3 gives you 6. That's not true. And they want us to find the middle number. So we're looking for this one. Okay. So if you want to go one by one by one by one to figure out, you can do 12 plus 13 plus 14. Does this give me 72? I can put in my calculator. 12 plus 13 plus 14. No, it doesn't. It's not even close. So you can do it like that. We can do it the math way. So using math, you have the first number. We're going to call it n. You have the second number. It is n plus 1. Oh, n plus 1. And then you have the third number. The third number is n plus 2. And we know it says the sum. So when we add these 3 numbers together, it should equal 72. So n plus n gives us 3n. 1 plus 2 gives us 3. So 3 times n plus 3 equals 72. We subtract the 3. And so we get 3n equals 69. Ooh. Remove this. 69. We divide by 3 and we get n equals That would give us 23. Okay, so that means that the three numbers that add up together are 23, 24, and 25. So let's check to see if that's true. 23 plus 24, plus 24 plus 25 gives us 72. That is true. So then they're asking us for the middle number, el número que está en medio, it's 24. The next one, number 35, a function is in the form of ax squared plus c is shown. And then they give us this one. When the value of c is in the formula, so c is a number at the end, here, right here. This number right here is your y-intercept. But it says, when the value of c in this formula is multiplied by 4, what will be the value of y if x is equal to 6? So we're multiplying this number times 4, which gives us negative 12. And then it says, what would be the value of y if x equals 6? So I'm going to add a graph page for this one. And it's going to be control divide 5 over 6 x squared, and then minus 3. Enter. And here it is. There's our graph, but we're going to use a table because we're looking for when x equals 6. So when x equals 6, our y value is 27. All right, one more. In this formula, and it gives us this formula, P is a principal. So R is the annual interest rate, and A is the amount after T years an account earning interest of 500,000. If no deposits or withdrawals are made, how much will be in the account after 5 years? So I'm going to go ahead and put this in another graph page. So P is a principal. It's what we start with. So if we look at what we start with $500,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 zeros. Then parentheses, 1 plus our interest rate, which is 4%. So I'm going to write that as a decimal, or you could actually plug in 4%. To the power of t, we don't know, that's what we're looking for, so I'm just going to put x. And so we're looking for when x or time, whatever, is 5 years. So I'm going to look up 5. So if I look up 5 here, it is 608326. So it looks like this is, because it says about, it's not the exact, it says about. And that's it. We're done. So I'm going to give you guys the rest of the problems. Make sure you guys copy this down to get credit.